for you to fall
May I have your
and break
attention?
your
I
hip.
was thinking about that.
May I have your attention?
Jesus.
He's good at that. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here. You know, this is our best attended meeting that we've had. We have new people who are actually enthusiastic about this, and we welcome them here. You know, great meeting, great opportunity. We had an orientation for the new board members earlier, and this is something we haven't done before, at least on the board. And I'm not the one who initiated it necessarily. I mean, I think it's a great thing, and it starts us with a base of knowledge that is very, very important to do what we need to do for the organization. So, you know, welcome to the September meeting. I'm going to not make the mistake I made the first time, and we're going to introduce ourselves. Just the board members first. So Scott, we'll start with you, and we'll go around the table, and anybody else who didn't sit at the table, we'll get them in, okay?
Well, I'm Scott Wiener. I've been on the board for 1 year. I represent Buchanan, but I live in Turk County. And
Hi, I'm Gail Jennings, and I'm from Charleston, and I'm new. I'm Valerie George Ellis from Charleston, and I'm a new board member as well.
I'm Jeff Wakefield, also from Charlton, also a new board member.
I'm Shane Pierce from Beckley, also a new board member.
Bonnie Brown from Charleston and a longtime board member.
Dave Living, board member representing the Huntington area.
I'm Renata Poor, a board member for 2 years and representing the Charleston area.
Sam Hickman from Charleston came on the board last year. First started listening when I lived in Elkins in the mid-'70s.
Rita Ray from Charleston.
Sarah Hopfield Wheeling.
Brian Lilly, Beckley.
Gail Pitchford from Charleston.
Walt Warren, Wheeling. Eddie Eisel, Executive Director.
The one thing I didn't do is John.
John Radcliffe, Parkersburg, Vienna.
Do you have anybody else? Okay. I didn't introduce myself last time. My name's Elliot Hicks. I'm in my last meeting as chairman of the Friends. I'm from Charleston, down the street, other end of the street. Oh, you know, thank you. Good. We have people on the screen. Let's see. I'm sorry, Harold, why don't you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Harold Branham, representing not Charleston, the place, whatever. Anyway, you can tell I'm suffering from after COVID, so you'll be happy I'm not there.
Where is he from?
Harold Branham.
Okay.
Any questions?
Where are you from?
No, let's go.
Huntington.
I'm here. Where am I from? This guy.
We thought that was the easy question, Harold. I don't know.
Sorry.
No, that's great. All right, let's.
I'm just here mostly to listen in. You can tell I'm not too coherent.
All right, let's see if we can get our other board members to introduce themselves. Let's see, I can't quite see all the names on there. It's
Rich Goldberg. Rich Goldberg.
Okay,
Hi, Rich Goldberg from Morgantown. Hello, everybody.
All right, wonderful. Deborah Hammond?
Deborah Hammond.
Mark Sundstrom. Oh, sorry.
Deborah Hammond, Martinsburg, Berkeley County, in the Eastern Panhandle.
Wonderful. All right, Mark, go ahead. You were.
Yeah, Mark Sundstrom from Fayetteville, representing the Beckley area.
All right. Okay. Anybody else?
The rest are staff.
Okay, great.
Hi
Okay,
there.
we'll
I'm Robbie. I've served on the board for 2 years. I live in Beckley in Raleigh County.
Oh, good. All right. Well, thank you. Do we have any more board members that need to be introduced? All right, can we introduce the staff? Because, pay attention to this. These are the people who get the work done that we need to have done to represent this fine product that we have here. So, will you all tell us who you are and what you do here?
I'm Eric Douglas. I'm the news director, or as Eddie likes to enforce upon me, the director of broadcast journalism.
Yeah.
I prefer news director. Hey folks, I'm Xander Alloy. I'm the director of program
programming. I'm in charge of picking kind of what we hear on the radio, see on TV, and also kind of managing the daily operations of the radio.
Hi, I'm Brian Hensley, Director of Engineering and IT, and just let me know if you have any questions.
And I'm Marco Valdez, Director of Grant Program Manager for our grant funded project.
Hi, I'm Amanda Magala. I'm Marketing Manager.
Hello, Chris Barnhart, Director of Video Production.
Hi, I'm Autumn Meadows. I'm the Education Director. I'm Kathleen Brady. I'm the Membership Manager.
Oh, and Liz McCormick, please.
Good morning, everyone, or I guess good afternoon. My name is Liz McCormick. I'm our Director of Digital. I manage our website, our social media, and our app.
Great. All right, and then Sarah Pitzer.
Hello, I'm Sarah Pitzer. I'm the CFO.
Oh, is Adam there? Okay. Oh, and Adam Harris. Adam?
Hey, everybody, it's Adam from Mountain Stage. Thanks for being here.
All right. Wonderful. Somebody else doing something? Okay. All right, good. All right, yeah, we'll drill those into you over the next year as you serve as a board member and get to know all these people, because they're fascinating stories around everything that comes together to make this what we have here. We'll start the meeting with the approval of the minutes.
Have you formally called the meeting to order?
Oh, kind of like that. Well, I'll do that. We'll call the meeting to order.
Okay.
How's that? Okay. The meeting's called to order.
Okay.
Well, can we have the minutes now?
Yes, everybody has received a copy of the minutes. I hope that you have had a chance to look through them. Any errors or omissions that anybody would like to point out? If not, then I have submitted my minutes.
All right, great. Is there second?
I'll second.
Motion moved and seconded. The meeting minutes be approved. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed. Thank you. The minutes are approved. We have the treasurer's report. Sarah, can you give that to us, please?
Hello, everyone. This report is for August 31st. For revenues, our membership is up about $100,000 in comparison to the same time last year. That's due to extra efforts. For expenses, our contractual expenses are up a little bit, and we've been like outsourcing some printing and mailing and such. Printing is up to $33,000 right now, and I believe that's also due to the mailers and such. Promotions up for those reasons. Our computer and database is down, and so is association dues, but that is just related to timing. Any questions on that? Okay, I'll move on to the 10% account. So far, we have about $34,788 from this year's revenues, and we've spent $5,000. That was from something that was approved last fiscal year. So that came out of that money, so we are doing pretty good on that. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do you have any comment on that before we move
No,
forward?
I just want to point out, I'm sorry, Sarah is working in her Beckley office today. She's finishing up her audit, and I thought it was best for her time to stay in Beckley and work on the audit rather than spend time traveling back and forth. I also wanted to just point out, we haven't been spending much out of the 10% fund at the moment because of what's going on with our current budget, and I'm trying to be fiscally responsible and frugal at the time. So that's why you only see like one $5,000 thing on there. It's just FYI.
Sam?
Do we require a motion to receive the financial report?
We usually don't, but you know, we go on and off on that, but it's always approved. Let's do it just for fun. Okay.
I would move
Go ahead.
the we receive the financial report.
Okay, second.
Second.
Moved and seconded, thank you very much. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, that carries, and we have received the treasurer's report. I have no particular report to make today, so, the executive committee, of course, we're having our pledge drive right now, I know. We are, now going to change officers, and so there's some changes to the thing, to the way we're gonna do some things. I don't have anything else, though. Is there anything else that somebody would like to point out from the executive committee, maybe some of our executive committee members or others? All right. With that, then we'll have the committee reports, beginning with the nominating committee. Rita?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the members of the nominating committee, Walt Warren, Scott Wiener, and Sarah Hopfer, here for their help, and I think we've come up with a fabulous slate. The committee is presenting, I think I can do this as a slate of officers. As chair, Brian Lilly from Beckley, and Brian, why don't you raise your hand just so we're still putting names to faces. And then as vice chair, Dr. Richard Goldberg, who's on your screen, and secretary, Renata Poor, here and at the end of the table, who's busy writing already. And as treasurer, Lori Ruberg of Wheeling.
She couldn't get the meeting today.
Okay. And I think at this point, do I take nominations from the floor? If there are any other nominations?
Yes. Yes, it is proper if anyone.
First, we would make a motion to receive
First,
the slate.
well, I move that we, the board accept this slate of officers for the coming fiscal year.
Right, that's been moved.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded that we accept this slate of officers. That's not necessarily a vote on it. This is just to accept the report of the nominating committee, okay?
It's time for discussion, but if it's approved, then you've got your slate.
Well, okay, but there's certainly still room for nominations from the floor, though.
It would seem only if you reject the motion.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know that anybody has any nominations from the floor. Nobody wants to do this. It's a tough job.
He asked for nominations.
Right, don't do it, I know.
So grateful that you all
Okay.
are willing to do it.
I'll say then, the acceptance of the nominating committee report will be tantamount to adopting the slate then. Okay? All right. Does everybody understand that, or is that not what you're saying?
I move the slate of officers.
Second.
Okay.
There's a motion on the floor to adopt the statement, and then another motion would be to approve the slate of officers, and then you could adopt them.
Yeah, so you received the report, then you approve the slate. Okay, so have we received a report?
Yes.
We haven't voted on it.
Okay, this is the raggediest meeting I've chaired, I think, and mostly because I'm not doing things correctly, probably. But just so I can make sure I remember, there is a motion on the floor to receive the nominating committee report. Okay, that is not tantamount to a vote. All right, and receive the report, motion? Okay, well, it's hard to tell what we did. That's why I'm trying to go back and make sure we get this correct.
Second, was that
On the screen.
No,
Deborah?
Rita moved
it was Rich, but,
Yeah.
okay, good. All right. All right, this is the motion to receive the nominating report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, are there any nominations from the floor? Bonnie, what do you have to?
No, I was
Do what you
gonna
were doing.
say that, Sam's right, by accepting the report, we have elected them.
Okay. Well,
Move to close nomination.
there we go. Okay. Well, I'll accept that motion. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay. All right, so we'll close the nominations, and, that would be tantamount to, nominating this slate. So, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, we have a new group of officers, and,
Thank you, I think.
yeah, thank you. Oh, you'll love it. Oh, Brian, you'll love it. This will be great.
Congratulations, Brian.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank, the new officers for their willingness to serve, because we've got a great slate, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for your confidence in me, Rita.
You know, and this was tough. I told Rita during this time, it's probably one of the toughest things we ask anybody to do, to try to assess who is willing to do this, who's willing to take on the load of this. I'm not saying it's been that hard. It's wonderful people to work with and a wonderful cause, so.
In a difficult political climate.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Extremely.
It is. Let's see. Is it time now for me to step aside? Or so, I mean, I can finish for convenience, but whatever you wish.
Who's got the Robert's rules?
You're still the chair.
You're still the chair, yeah.
Of the meeting.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Get out of it.
Keep on keeping on.
Okay.
You don't get out.
Do we have other committee reports?
Definitely tried, though.
Do we have other committee reports?
Well, it seems like we don't have any other committees being active. So I would like to ask you, what are the other committees, and should any of them become active?
We considered a number of the standing committees. When Brian Gallagher was chairman here, he suggested a number of standing committees and established a number of I guess I'd call them ad hoc committees too, and they didn't meet. And so, you know, what we've done, because so many things have been in flux, we've kind of worked so many things as a committee of the whole, but there are some things that probably could stand the attention of a dedicated group. I mean, one of the things we talked about earlier this morning is, you know, how we might, it's how this board might transition to do a little bit more in public visibility, you know, to help with fundraising, you know, those kinds of things. So, you know, that may be something that our new chairman wants to establish.
We had
No, go ahead.
we had a thing from our committee, nominating committee, discussing the idea of revisiting the bylaws of this board, just to bring them up to current, to see if there's adjustments that we would consider making. I mentioned that to you.
And they would address the committee structure.
And I think there was a few people that were willing to volunteer to begin with. Walt, you said to?
Oh, I'm fine.
Sarah, did you say that?
Yeah, I want to be.
Yeah.
And I think we should establish an active committee that will do that.
All right. It's the prerogative of the chairman to do that, and to have
Duly
some
noted.
certain committee. So,
So I don't know when that's right time to bring it up. I'll bring it up.
No, it's a great time to bring it up. Yeah, it's a great time to bring it up. So, you know,
That's
that's,
one I'd like to ask about.
no, good.
There's an executive committee, and there's the 4 officers, but there's obviously,
Immediate past chair is also on it.
okay. Good.
So,
There's other options to have more people on that committee, or is that become too cumbersome?
3. Bylaws say no fewer than 1 and no more than 3. So it's the 5 officers, and it has been Bonnie and Rita and Betty Ireland were the appointed members of the executive committee.
So I would just like that, we'd like to hear, you know, who that committee is when you form it, and just add who to contact or who they are.
I might make a comment since you brought up about committees. It would not be uncommon for, if committees are formed, for the committee chairs to serve on an executive committee, something to consider.
That's true. That's also something to be addressed in the bylaws.
Yeah, it would. Because, here's what I was going to say. The bylaws for committees, the standing committees are executive committee, nominating committee, finance committee, marketing outreach committee, and audit committee. Those 5. And then bylaws and other committees are ad hoc. Brian, and I have the matrix here from FY23, and he was adding some committees, I think one of which may have met one time. but, I can share this with you and take it from there. This particular, if you can see here, you see all the yellow marks? Those are people who are no longer on the board. Those are people who are no longer on the board. No, that's not right. Many of them are not on the board. I mean, we got a whole new board, essentially. So, developing committees is gonna be one of your,
Well, I think
challenges.
any recommendations that, other board members have related to committees that you think would be beneficial, we can look at and.
It seems like, to put them in the mix now, the marketing committee, if Eddie mentioned in our orientation about, besides doing our 10% allocations, which is done mostly by the executive committee, that we need a template of who to look for, how to approach it. So maybe a marketing committee or whatever that one is of this group, so that we can figure out what that might be and how to promote. Which again, we're trying to figure out how to have enough money to survive.
Good.
And by the way, Eddie says he's sending out the bylaws to everyone.
Yes.
Electronic.
And the,
The MOU.
yeah.
That's what resulted in so many of these, the structure, so much of the structure that we see today for public broadcasting is that memorandum of understanding and some other things that go along with that. Okay?
So
All right.
that's the same thing as the settlement agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are there any other committee reports? All right. Eddie, let's have your report. How's that?
I have laryngitis. I'm going to try to stand up, maybe on the diagram, and y'all can hear me, and everybody can see me. So first, I want to thank everybody for being here, and especially the new board members. I know this is a trying time as we find out how we're going to get through this decrease in federal funding. I think we received $1.6 million this year. We were expecting 1.5 October 1st. So we're still looking at the budget. We're still planning, looking for a strategic plan on how to make up that money. One thing that's going to be very important with that is the creation of a public media bridge fund. Several foundations have come together, and I think it's at $50 million right now, that local stations can apply for grants to help make up some of the funding loss. That doesn't open until next week for application, until I have more information on that, and everything's kind of up in the air right now. But rest assured, nothing's going to happen October 1st. I mean, we're fine. We just need to get a plan in place to look to the future. But we're financially secure starting October 1st. I don't. There's this business misconception because our federal funding goes away October 1st, we go away. That is not true. But we're looking at it. We're looking at different ways of raising money, et cetera, and how to make up for that shortfall. And having said that, the development department is going to be very important. Unfortunately, at this time, as you all know, I don't have a development director. Marilyn DeVita has retired. I'm currently taking on the duties of development director as well as executive director as we work to reorganize that department as well. But I can say that our fundraising campaigns have seen a big increase in membership. July 25, we raised $188,900. We had 352 first-time members. Compared to last July, we had 74 first-time members and raised $123,000. August, we raised $150,700 with 206 first-time members compared to 52 first-time members last time. And as you all know, we're in the middle of our fall radio fundraising campaign. Another thing that's going to be vitally important for us going forward when it comes to raising money for the organization to operate on is underwriting dollars. Underwriting dollars are going to become more and more important. And those are businesses and organizations that support what we do, and we acknowledge that on the air. I can say that our underwriting goal is currently at 50% for the fiscal year, which started July 1st. So we're on the right track. Right. But, we want to continue to grow that. And I've been working with Kathleen as we've reorganized the department. We're going to look at other ways to raise money that we haven't tried in the past. We've always gone to the on-air fundraising, mailings and stuff, but we're going to look for some other non-traditional avenues and kind of like try to reorganize it and put a plan in place. Another area that will be continue to grow that America manages is our grants. Our grants help fund very specific projects. Our active grant total is currently $251,009, but we have several projects in the pipeline. We're talking with organizations, foundations, et cetera. So we probably will have some very exciting news to announce pretty soon, probably even by December. Moving off of the money, I want to talk about the great work that the people here do, and this is the reason that people support us. I mean, if you think about it, we broadcast radio and TV programming, and we ask people to give us money for doing that, and they do. And that's an important thing to think about. It's like how the public really respects the work that we do. And the little statue right there is a prime example of that. It's an Emmy, the most prestigious award in television, and our video production department and our news department worked together in collaboration. And they created a TV special from our Inside Appalachia podcast radio show. It was the Folkway special, and it won us an Emmy. They're currently almost finished with a second Inside Appalachia.
Yes, we're in the ending phase.
Yes, so we're really grateful for that. The video production team has also been working on a local companion piece called Always Free. This is in conjunction with the American Revolution. There is a flyer on the table here. It's Ken Burns' latest documentary to be released in November. Their content, of course, West Virginia wasn't a state during the American Revolution, but we were part of Virginia. So they've been going around the state, filming reenactments, et cetera, and the documentary is going to focus on things that happened during the Revolution here in this part of Virginia. They've been working really hard on that, and I'm really grateful for that. Also, along the lines of the American Revolution, last week we did a special screening at Shepherd University, and Trey Kay was the host of that. We talked to historians during this screening, and we recorded those conversations, and it's going to be a episode of us and them coming up. And I can't remember Trey Kay's timeline on. Did you remember when he might be releasing that?
I would say within a month.
Within a month, we'll be releasing that as well. So this is another example how the departments collaborate with each other to create awesome content that the public loves and supports. Our journalism department over here has been extremely busy. They've had coverage of the flooding here in West Virginia, go national through NPR. Eric here did a story on coral reefs.
You find them a lot.
Yeah. But it was also broadcast nationally. It was picked up nationally. He's also working on a new audio drama. If you remember last year we did one. The staff will be working on that. And a great project that he's working with right now is bringing Marshall University journalism students on board with us part-time to help us, report on what's going on here. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe my ears popped too. We also did a caregiving screening. So there was a documentary produced by Bradley Cooper, and it talked about how, caring for people who were sick, elderly. And it didn't focus only on the people who needed care, but also on the people who provide that care. There's a lot of those here in West Virginia now. We have an elderly population, but even the caregivers are elder, and the toll that it takes on people who have to care for their loved ones and see them decline. Trey Kay, we also recorded that. It became an Us and Them episode as well. Our education department, Saturday, everybody come out. There's a flyer on the table. We're having our very first Be My Neighbor Day, September 13th from 11 to 2. And because I'm losing my voice, I'm going to make Autumn stand up and tell you about it. She was on TV yesterday talking about she's going to do it again.
Yeah, I heard it in the
Well, I was
morning.
gonna say, if you look at the flyer, that'll help guide me, but it's gonna be a free event, for families and anyone who wants to attend, we got a grant, from Fred Rogers Productions for $10,000 to host this, in addition to our sponsors at the bottom. And it was pretty great because with the grant, you know, I had to say what the money was going to be used for and allocated for. But every time I asked a lot of people, I was like, okay, we'd like to have that spent. And they said, oh, we'll do that in kind. Oh, we'll do that in kind. And it just kept going. So that was pretty exciting. But at the event, we're going to have a whole lot of fun activities, one of which we're going to have Daniel Tiger and Katarina Kitty Cat. I mean, they're super famous. Everyone loves them. So that'll really bring out a crowd. But one of the big things is it's going to be a community service project. So I am working with the Children's Home Society of West Virginia and Big Creek People in Action in McDowell County, and we are going to put together 300 care kits, care bags, for children in foster care in various counties, and then for some of the kids affected by the floods, months ago in McDowell County. But it's going to have books and things like that. So basically, community members are coming out and putting it together. It's going to be a community mural from Nicole Westfall. She is creating that, and the community members come together and they're painting that. We're going to have a reptile show with the Zoology Zone and Science Center. Like, that's just another one. It's just like in kind after in kind. But it's definitely going to be a very exciting event with a lot of community gathering and being a caring neighbor.
Yes, thank you so much, Autumn. And that's not the only thing they've been working on. On August 14th, they worked with the Mountaineer Food Bank, and they packed 680 care bags for children birth to 18 years old with books and education supplies. We volunteered to pack those. So if you think about it, this is why I always love this project. Families who are struggling and are struggling to feed their kids, they're feeding and clothe their kids, they don't have money for books. Books are very expensive, and it's important that they have access to the same educational material as everybody else. So I was really happy when Autumn organized that. On August 23rd, we were in Beckley at the Raleigh County Library with Clifford, the big red dog. We had 100 people show up to come out and see Clifford, which was really great. On August 6th, they gave out over 200 books and buddies, which are plush toys at a back-to-school event in Roane County. They're getting ready for the Mountain Readers Project. You can see this on here as well. The book that we're reading this year is The Wonderfully Wild Ones. We always pick a book written by a West Virginia author. This one is particularly fun because these mountain lions escape the zoo and they explore several places throughout West Virginia, and it encourages kids to visit these places.
The zoo they escaped from is in Wheeling.
Yes.
The good zoo.
Yes. So, we'll be asking community members to please take a book, go into a school, a library, a daycare, etc., between October 6th and 10th, and then report back to us. Last year we had every 55 counties had someone in it correct. We would love to do the same this year.
Over 8,000 kids were estimated for Friends during
Bonnie read last year, and I can too.
Well, it's just great fun, you know, and then the discussion
And it's a
with
great
the
way
kids.
for board members to become involved and advocate for the great education work we do here at West Virginia Public Broadcasting. We started year 3, or we to Daniel Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Daniel Tiger in year 3. Daniel Tiger's Little Learners, for those of you who have been here before, I've talked about it. We went into Boone County and we created a pilot project which brought resources from Daniel Tiger's neighborhood to children and also literacy to teach them social skills, etc., that we found that they really needed to enter the school system. It expanded last year to the entire county, and now we've added 3 more counties thanks to a generous grant that America helped work on. And another grant, America's Awesome Kids. We have a West Virginia child from Helvetia who will be represented in this national program, one of only 25 kids in the United States. So we're really, really excited about that. In the area of digital, since June, we've had 412 website visits with an average engagement rate of 40%. That means nearly half the people who visit are spending several minutes on our website. And the most visited area is the live stream of the radio broadcast, because that's becoming more and more the future of delivery. This internet. And having said that, our TV live stream, for those of you who have passports who may not have noticed, as of yesterday, we now have the West Virginia channels live streaming through the passport and on our website. So now we have all of our broadcast channels live streaming on our platform, so people can watch us that way, all of them. And that's really important, again, because that is the future of delivery. Our mobile app is, I'm sorry.
How can we monetize that exposure? Is there a way to do that?
So when you're a passport member, you're given $5 a month. So it's part of the benefit of having passport, but also, so I want to be very careful about saying monetize our programming because we're publicly funded, we're public broadcast. And just like over the airwaves while this is being delivered, the goal is to provide this, and the way that we monetize it is people give us contributions so we can pay for it, underwriting helps us pay for it.
Right. But we need to be figuring out how to then work that in its way, if that's where the future is going.
Right, but we do it the same way we pay for a broadcast, through the generous support of listeners and viewers just like you.
I've heard that before.
I'd like to make another point. One of the responsibilities, for want of a better term, for our board is to be ambassadors for WVPB around the state. And we have board members in every corner of the state. And when there's some event, we've had events in Wheeling, and I attended and helped out with those. And they have events in Charleston, in Beckley, wherever they have an event. Go out and help. And hand out WVPB nerd stuff and other bling or goodies, merch.
And as we talk about the future, I don't know if all the board members do this, we have a mobile app. And if you haven't downloaded it, do it now. You can watch, listen on there as well. Since June, we've had 547 new users to our mobile app, and the top thing that they're listening to is the Mountain State Song of the Week. But, you can see your education resources there. You can watch, videos. You can listen to the live stream with the radio. You can read the stories that our journalism department does. Engineering has been busy at work because while I'm talking about the future, we haven't abandoned the past yet. And we do have transmitters across the state that many people rely on to get our signals to radio and TV. They've been working, to keep those operating. They did a generator repair at Montgomery here in Parksburg after we had a lightning strike there. That, lightning hates us sometimes. We've had several by lightning, have we not? We had a tower blown over by a heavy wind onto a rock filled with snakes. So we finally got that cleared up. So, they have, but it's important that we stay on the air. In Williamson, we're currently off in Williamson because we had a full power FM station that took over our translator frequency because translator frequencies are low, so we're getting a new antenna and a new frequency so we can get back on there. And we're in the process of running fiber to several sites. Garfield here in Charleston, Barker's Ridge in Huntington, Beckley, and Martinsburg, to increase our TV interconnectivity and the redundancy so we're not off the air as much. In terms of Mountain Stage, again, this Saturday, and with the generous support from the Friends, 10%, the only thing you heard about was 10%, we're partnering with the Dirty Birds for the final Saturday home game of the season here in Charleston at Gilmore Park this Saturday. And what the point of it is to promote our September 28th live show that features the baseball project with members of REM. And we've not done a marketing like this for Mountain Stage before, and so we're really excited about, again, looking at new ways to promote who we are and what we do. And we're hoping that that's very successful. We're hoping that Saturday somebody will know about West Virginia Public Broadcasting, either from Be My Neighbor Day or the Dirty Birds game at Gilmore Park with Mountain Stage. Episodes that they taped in June they began airing last weekend as part of the fall broadcast season of new episodes across the nation through NPR, the music. we had an event in Clarksburg, 100 in attendance. It turned out, it's like great, and we're budgeting for a 5 consecutive week run that starts in shows in Morgantown. Sorry, I'm losing it here. And we have hunting some plans in Skipsbury. And that's my report, and I'll open it up to questions if I can answer them, and I do apologize for my voice today.
You're doing great. Question.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on the, lawsuit,
What law?
the national?
Honestly, Bonnie, there has not been much reported on that since either from NPR or PBS. It's just kind of out there right now. They have not made any progress on that. What Bonnie's referring to, both NPR and PBS filed lawsuits when they were dismantling the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but it hasn't gone anywhere right now, and I've had no reports on it.
Now, is the suit, well, I know nothing about it, so is the suit against the administration?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and there were separate lawsuits from both organizations. So the rescission was passed.
Yep, yeah, okay.
Yes, this was a totally different thing that dealt with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Well, are they keeping you in the know at all?
I have
with
meetings weekly with PBS and NPR, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but that has not come up at any of the meetings.
And they're two different lawsuits.
They are
right?
two different, because they're two different organizations. Many people don't realize this, but NPR and PBS are not sister organizations. They both operate very independently, even though they're both public media, and they both receive funding in the same way, but they never really were like organizations that were together, which sometimes for joint licenses like us who are radio and TV, it can be something strange to maneuver at times. They have different structures, they have different ways of operating, so you kind of have to learn two systems.
Thank you.
Eddie, I have a question or an idea, and I don't know if it's feasible or not, but it seems to me that with the Ken Burns series on the American Revolution, and since the Kanawha Valley is highlighted in that, I wonder if there's an opportunity to follow up with some local events here.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we
have
just
you
did
talked
the
about-
one at Shepherd. We plan more screenings, and we plan, whenever we finish our local, to do some screenings. Yeah, we're gonna have several events over the next year.
Here in Charleston?
All over the state.
All over the state?
Yes.
Okay,
Up until the 4th of July.
next year?
Mhm.
Okay, so, for your staff, I'm very much involved with Ruffner Cemetery and Park here in Charleston, so if you need any information or help or on that, please feel free to contact me, and I'll do whatever I can to help you explain its amazing history.
You're saying that's been there a long time?
Huh?
You're saying that's been there since the Revolution?
Yes, well, it was a grant from George Washington to, so I forget his name, and eventually sold to the Ruffners, but, and they established the salt works here as a result of that, and anyway, it's a really interesting story, and it was a first Charleston cemetery. The Ruffners gave it to Charleston, the city of Charleston, as a cemetery, and it was a cemetery until the 1920s when it was full. And the interesting thing is this was a cemetery for anybody, no charge. You could be buried there, slave, children, whoever was buried there, and they're still there. But it became a park then. The city pushed over the gravestones, put dirt on it, and it's now a park, a beautiful park. But we want to tell the story of the 200 and some souls that are buried there.
Where is it?
And the Ruffners. It's on around 1578 Kanawha Boulevard, about 2 blocks from the state capitol on the river. It's a lovely place to visit, and there's just a
On the left, on toward the cap.
yeah, on the left. So.
Okay. Anything else for our director? Any other matters we need to discuss? Anything? Okay. Well, this has been a pleasure to work as chairman of this organization. I told Eddie today that I have nothing but, and I fully understand exactly what we do when they empower citizen leaders to come into a position like this. I mean, they prop us up so we don't make fools of ourselves when we're talking about these things that they know much more than we do. But they let us express ourselves and show how much it means to us. And, this means a lot to me. I know that there are those who love the poorly educated, but I want to love the poorly educated by educating. And this does that. And this is some of the most important work that I think is done. I really liked, Rita, in the notes that you had, where you talked about the importance of public broadcasting as one of those kind of a three-legged stool of democracy. And it's a very important thing. So I've been honored to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. I'd like to just say that, I believe I was chairing the nominating committee when we tapped you. And it's been a pleasure, and I think you've done a wonderful job.
Very good. Thank you.
And I'd like a round of applause.
I highly agree, and I also want to thank the other executive committee members. And Walt's done a great job with being secretary and with finance. A treasurer. I think it was good. You guys did a good job, and now you have to live up to the next
What I was
part.
gonna say, big shoes to fill.
If there's nothing else, then the meeting's adjourned. Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, there it is. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.